Hey, what's up everybody? This is the Classic Tycoon here, and we're back for episode 2 of the Trinity Island Let's Play series. In the last one, we talked a lot about, kind of the plans moving forward, and I just asked you guys some questions about that. I uploaded that yesterday, so I'm going to give that a little bit more time to see if some comments come in and get your guys' suggestions before, we move forward with anything that we spoke about in that. So if you didn't see that one, go ahead, go back and watch that. And we just talked about some things about the channel moving forward, and just some other options that I have been thinking about lately. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Let me know what your thoughts are about all the things that we talked about in that episode. Today I wanted to build a log flume. That will be kind of the main attraction that we do today. And this will be kind of a fun one for Trinity Island. So let's get going on it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just bring it down to the water level. And then we're going to spin it around here, and I'm going to build a little tunnel to go underneath the pathway here. I think that works out pretty well for this log flume. So we'll put that through there. Then right here, I think I'm going to start an ascension, and it's going to go all the way up so we can have a nice big hill and a nice big splash when we go back down right here underneath the junior roller coaster. And this should have a nice little positive effect on the junior roller coaster's excitement rating as well. Now I thought about going up right here. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and leave it straight so that we get a nice big splash. And we also are going to put it through a second tunnel right here. So we'll raise the land accordingly to do that. Then I'll turn it and I'll start bringing it up right here. Don't want to bring it up, I wanted to start bringing it up right here as opposed to a little bit later, because I want to make sure that the rowing boats are still able to get back home. So this should work pretty well. So we're going to bring this down again and make a nice splash right there. Do an S bend right here. You say I did put a reverser table right there, so I'm going to have to put one at the beginning of the ride just to make sure that the boats come back in facing forward. So I'm going to put a turntable in here at the bottom of the first incline. So they're going to go up that first one backwards, and then down the first splash backwards, and then down the second splash forwards. You can see I decreased the amount of boats that were there originally. I just don't want any crashes happening at the end of the ride, so I think 16 boats should be plenty for the guests there. So we'll just watch this thing test. Now, and I did debate speeding this part up or not, but I figured we could use the time to talk just a little bit. Yeah, so like I mentioned before, in the last episode, we just talked about some things about the channel going forward. And what that basically was I asked for your guys' ideas on what I should be doing as far as what you guys are interested in seeing. Like, should I be doing parks further on in the game rather than just doing every single park in the entire game? And then I also asked your thoughts on the Patreon And so I haven't considered that yet, but yeah, again, I'm considering doing a Patreon, trying to maybe raise some funds to allow myself to do a little bit more on the channel, give myself some more options of recording. So that's what we talked about in the last one. So if you have any thoughts on that, I went into more detail of what I was thinking in the last one, but if you got any thoughts on that, please just let me know in the comments. In this one as well, I'll definitely be thinking about that going forward. So we've got a 5.17 excitement rating for the log flume. That's pretty good. I like that. So we'll stick with that. Let's go ahead and put in all of our pathways leading to it. And then we'll be good to open it. Now, one thing I completely forgot to do in the first episode is put in some handymen. And that's probably why our park rating is so low right now. So we got to make sure to do that. One thing that sucks about the handymen and the mechanics and just staff in general in Trinity Island, as we put in, another thing that we need to do is put in some litter bins and some benches. One thing that sucks about the staff is that they don't listen to the no entryway sign, right? Which is normally a good thing. But in a park like this, they're just going to be wandering around. So I'm going to have one handyman that I'll assign to a specific pathway. And then the rest of them I'll just kind of let wander around, which is what I usually like to do. So I'll make sure that one guy's taking care of the center of the beginning of the park. And that should be, I'll do this guy right here. And that should be enough for this. That should be fine. And then the other guys will just wander around, and they'll eventually make their way back to the center or the beginning of the park. And as we expand, they'll be more useful. We'll hire more as we go. The mechanics should, I mean, they'll probably wander away, but they'll be coming back because they have to inspect rides and fix rides, and they'll be getting the calls, and they'll just have to come back. I will put an entertainer in the log flume line just because that's going to be so long of a wait for them that they're going to need that entertainer in there. And it's been a while since I've talked about this, but I pretty much never use security guards unless I have a super crowded part of my park and I just don't want to deal with having to constantly fix broken or vandalized things. So I usually just avoid the security guard because it's just an extra cost that you don't really need. But now I'm going to go lower the time between inspections on the junior roller coaster, and I'm going to do this on the log flume as well. Hopefully that will help to keep the mechanics over here so that they'll inspect the rides and they'll just stay in this general area. So yeah, now that's done, let's go ahead and think about what we want to build next. We've been getting some things researched. Why don't we go ahead and do the Ferris wheel here? That should be a good option for the next one. I think I'm gonna put it over there on the beach. Alright, so we got the Ferris wheel going right here, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go through the whole park and put in benches and litter bins so that I don't have to worry about it later. I'm just going to take care of that now, and then I won't have to do that at all as I go throughout the park, and I can just focus on building rides. And that way I also won't forget about it later, and guests will be littering and stuff all over the park and not have anywhere to sit or whatever. So that should take care of that. If I have to, I'll do some of the longer exit pathways and stuff later on. But alright guys, that's going to be it for episode 2. Thanks for watching this one. We'll continue Trinity Island in the next video. Give me a like if you did like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and again, I will see you in the next video.